The golf swing is all about circles, or so you think. I'm going to show you that a triangle is going to be one of the most important things you can think about in your golf swing. You've been told that tension kills a golf swing. One of the first things I want to talk about before we get into the triangle aspect is to give you an awareness of something. We are trying to commit to a task here when we're hitting a golf shot. But if we're too weak with it, if we're really so scared of having tension, we're gripping it lightly, our arms are too soft, everything's moving around too much, we don't have the discipline to keep everything very, very fluid and be able to repeat it every single time. Because it's easy to do when we're just practice swinging. But when it comes to on the golf course, we have more tension, whether you like it or not, because you're thinking a lot of times subconsciously where you don't want to hit it. That makes us more tense. So we have to lean into that tension a little bit. It doesn't mean we're going to have a stranglehold on the club, squeezing it to death, but it means we're having a constant amount of pressure in the grip and how we form our setup. Our legs are strong. Our body is strong. We are committed to the task. And this is where we get into the most important thing, is the triangle. As I'm setting up to a shot, I want you to notice what shape I am forming with my shoulders and with my arms. Now, admittedly, it's a slightly wonky triangle, but at my setup, I am creating this shape from my arms this way across my shoulder. As you make your backswing, I want you to maintain this triangle shape. That's the only sort of intention or goal that I want you to have. As I'm making halfway back, I've still got this triangle across my shoulders. My arms are staying in the same place. As I make my full backswing, on the way back, I still am trying to maintain this triangle. I am not letting it collapse. I'm not tucking in the elbows too much. I'm keeping the structure that I started with. Yes, there is some movement, there is some pliability. I'm not locked rigid straight, but I'm making a conscious effort to maintain that triangle. I complete my backswing, I'm maintaining the triangle. As I make my downswing, yes, there is motion, there's a little bit of lag, wrist softness happening, but I'm still basically guiding my golf swing, maintaining the structure from my shoulders and arms all the way through until we get to impact. And the goal by doing this, we've more or less maintained that shape that we formed at setup. Yes, there's going to be some dynamic action, but more importantly, what this is going to do is this is my impact, this is my goal to return back to here from where I started. It's going to be more consistent than trying to time everything with the arms. From impact, as I get through the ball, I'm maintaining the triangle, all the way through to the finish. It's not locked rigid, but that is my intention. And what this does, it creates an amazing consistent structure to your entire golf swing for every single shot, for your drives, for your pitches, for your iron shots, and even around the greens. Having tension in the right places is what's going to give you more power and consistency. I mentioned the legs, but also in the core. We want it in the arms, nice and firm, committed to our shot. There is softness in the wrists. We are still able to move them freely. They are still able to hinge and unhinge and release, but only release in the direction that I want at impact to maintain that shape. We're not letting them flip through. That's going to come when you have more commitment to how you feel at setup. All right? It's not about being super athletic or anything. It's just about being committed. I feel the shapes, I create the shapes, and I maintain those shapes throughout. But here's an extra bonus thing I want you to do. You've all seen these. The idea is to keep your arms closer together. But what happens when we do that? You guessed it, we lose the triangle. It becomes a lot more narrow. Why is this a problem? You think, well, surely this training aid has been around for so long, it must be very good. For most of you, it isn't. Because if it's trying to keep our arms together, when we swing back, we get stuck in this manner. Even on the way down, we get stuck. I want you to use this training aid to do the opposite. It might seem counterintuitive, but it's very, very effective. When you use this training aid, like you can use a ball or something to put in your arms, but the goal is to actually let go of the ball. Or in this case, with these straps, I'm actually trying to apply pressure outwards, all right? If my goal is to stretch the arms a little bit this way, okay, I'm not setting up there because that isn't a triangle. I don't even know what shape that is, but we're still trying to maintain that triangle, but I'm applying pressure on the outside. And as I swing back, I'm maintaining that sort of shape. I can feel the same amount of pressure and tension with the arms. On the backswing, the same amount of pressure. As I come to here, the same amount of pressure. On the downswing, the same amount of pressure. Impact and through. It creates and encourages that structure for me. Now, you don't have to use this, of course. I'm just using that to demonstrate, and I wager a lot of you have got one of these knocking around. But the same goal is to feel like, even when I take that off, that I'm applying that pressure. No, let's be sensible. I'm not trying to do this because that's not the triangle. This works so well to create a very good baseline goal swing that you can rely on. So give this a try. Form your triangle at setup, maintain it all the way through. And I would suggest that as you start to try this, just work on even hitting little chip shots or pitch shots. Just trying to get the setup right, feeling like you got the triangle. Look in a mirror, on a camera, whatever it might be. Make your backswing. Try and keep that triangle there. Try and keep that triangle there. You'll be astonished at how more consistent your ball striking will be. Yes, there are some more caveats and little tweaks you have to make to that, but I want you to form the triangle and see how your body responds. There's other things you have to do during the sequence, which this lesson will help you do. Maintain the triangle, follow this golf swing sequence, and you will be perfect, consistent, and powerful. See you next time.